Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a wonderful reissue. I mean, one I've really been waiting for. A fabulous box of 17 CDs of Bach Cantatas with Philippe Herreweghe on Harmonia Mundi. I love his conducting of the Bach Cantatas. I wish he'd done a whole series of them. I love his Bach generally. His Bach is, well, I've explained this before. I mean, the cantatas, the sacred cantatas, are, aside from the few happy ones, are for me tough. However beautiful the music may be, I know that there are pieces where you can just ignore the text and listen to the music, and it's fine. I can't do that with Bach. I just can't. I think you have to pay attention to the text because the music is so tightly woven to the text. I mean, if you read, Albert Schweitzer, or these people who all talked about Bach's musical language, and they discovered or figured out that he had, sort of dictionary of motives that go with the emotional characteristics or the description of the music, and he used these things. It's a fascinating topic, and I don't think there's any question that it's true. Bach spoke a musical language, and that language was ideally suited to the Lutheran liturgy in which he grew up, in which his whole family grew up, in which his family's family grew up. I mean, since the Reformation, he understood, as few did, how to express what he regarded as the truths of his faith in music. And therefore, if you ignore what the words are saying, you're missing a lot of the point of what he's doing musically. And, that's how I feel about it. And I want the full experience. So as a result of that, I follow the words. And the words are atrocious. I find them appalling. First of all, the poetry's terrible. Second of all, 90% of it is about sin and death and blood and misery, and horror and sin and more death and more misery and unhappiness and wretchedness and it's just an atrocious liturgical outlook. It really is. It probably was very true for Lutherans living in Bach's day. I mean, let's face it. I mean, when a mosquito bite could kill you, and everything was disgusting and dark and dank and miserable, and you lived next to an open sewer and they didn't have deodorant and toilet paper. Yeah, okay. Life was pretty dismal. I mean, even Bach said, just one of his most famous letters, that wonderful letter about how, things are very expensive here in Leipzig, and I pray for, an unhealthy wind that'll kill more people because I make more money playing at funerals. I mean, that was his wish, that people would drop dead by the drove so he could profit thereby. It's a strange outlook. I mean, it is. Of course, the whole funeral industry is hoping for that, and he was part of it. So, it's the same thing is true today, but still, to say it so starkly, well, there you go. So, what does this have to do with Herreweghe's Bach? Well, I find these performances to be, first of all, incredibly ingratiating. They're on period instruments, but they're not period instruments. Bach is austere enough. Let's put it that way. The liturgy is austere enough. It's about, sin and abnegation and all of those things. I mean, you don't need to grind it in. I'm not saying he sweetens the pill overtly. He doesn't. But somehow this playing has a warmth and a humanity and, underneath it all, and underneath all the dismalness and of the texts and whatnot, and they try to inoculate people into, against the horror of life by teaching them fear, you hear in Herreweghe's performances a nobility, a solace, a warmth. I just find them incredibly beautiful and deeply, deeply moving. I get a sense of the underlying emotion, sometimes sadness, sometimes despair, but also exultation and nobility and the belief in salvation that underlies it all. I hear that here, as I don't in many, many other performances, particularly performances that I find to be simply accurate or efficient or John Eliot Gardner's, for example. performances that, yeah, gosh, no, he knows what they're saying and what they're singing about, but he doesn't make me feel it. And Herreweghe makes me feel it. Now, what is in here? It's 17 discs, and there are a whole pile of cantatas. These were recorded from 1987 to 2007. They sound absolutely lovely. I mean, I can't tell you every cantata that's in here. I'm not going to go through it because then you get to hear me do all my horrible German. But you do get the Trauer Ode, because you have to have the Trauer Ode. And you get things like Ich habe genug, that's a famous one. And Ein feste Burg ist unser Gott, another really famous one. A mighty fortress is our God. And let's see, you get the Ascension Oratorio and the Easter Oratorio. And Nur kommt der Heiden Heiland. Everyone likes that one. I mean, that's just like one of the greatest hits. Let's see. Vernünfte Ruhe, beliebte Seelenlust. You get that catchy number. Oh, gosh, there's like zillions of things. And we've got Wir danken dir Gott. Wir danken dir, that's a good one. Ich freue mich in dir, which is one of the cheerier ones. I like that one. Let's see. Oh, boy, let's see what else we have. Aus tiefer Not schrei ich zu dir. That's De profundis clamavi ad te Domine. From the depths I cry to you, Lord. That's a famous one. And Weinen, Klagen, Sorgen, Sagen, which is, misery piled upon misery. That's one of the most famous of the dismal ones. And let's see. Ich bin vergnügt mit meinem Glücke. That's a biggie. Christus, der ist mein Leben. The ones where they contemplate the meaning of Christ and the Savior and your joy in him and his salvation. Those are also nice cantatas, ones that are a little easier to take. Vereinigte Zweitracht, der wechselnden Seiten. Yeah, this is a secular cantatas. Those are fun. Really, really fun. Tönet ihr Pauken, ihr Schallet Trompeten. Yeah, beat the drums, bang the trumpets, beat the drums. Blow the trumpets, bang the brasses, tantarantara, chin boom, as Gilbert and Sullivan would say. So yeah, this is all great stuff. It really is. They're beautiful, beautiful performances. I'm going to stop mangling German, and I'm going to suggest that instead you get this set. Now, you don't get texts and translations, of course. It's a reissue set. I'm just making sure we don't. I don't think we do. I didn't even look, but it's a fairly thick booklet here. No, of course not. But it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful stuff. I recommend it wholeheartedly. I just got a message. I hate it when that happens while I'm doing these, but gosh, the world of the internet. Herreweghe, Bach, Cantatas, Harmonia Mundi, 17 CDs, very reasonably priced. A wonderful, important reissue, and I think a major, major addition to the Bach Cantata discography. Enjoy them. Actually, enjoy them. You can do that. Take care and keep on listening.